PodQuest.
From international spies to elite assassins, the world's greatest warriors
Welcome to DOA.
have been brought together
Fights can happen any place against anyone.
for the ultimate competition.
Nina, it's showtime!
Not now. I'm in my underwear.
DOA, dead or alive.
When is the last time we recorded?
Didn't we record like 2 weeks ago?
It just feels like a long time.
It does.
Maybe it's just been a particularly busy 2 weeks.
It's been. I think it might have been longer. I don't know. I feel like we did the Sabrina episode last year, but it just got put out on a Saturday because shit's chaotic right now. I put that episode out yesterday at the time of this recording.
Yeah, the day that we put out episodes every week.
Speaking of, maybe we should tell the listeners. Hey, listeners, MK,
We're getting a divorce.
PodQuest heads. We hate Corey and I. Have
Hate? Is that what you just said?
Irreconcilable differences. I'm trying to be polite in front of the children. Okay, we fucking hate each other. No, we don't. But
Well,
this isn't going to come as a surprise to anyone. MK PodQuest is going to start kind of cranking down. We've covered everything, almost everything, Mortal Kombat media related that's non-canon. Some of it twice.
the important part twice.
The
yeah.
best part twice. We covered it twice. Did we consider doing a third viewing of Conquest? Yeah, we did. But like the honest truth is that we're ready to move on to something new that we're not quite ready to announce yet. But we do want you guys to know that from here on out, this show, MK PodQuest, will be released every other week instead of every week, which shouldn't be that much of an adjustment considering I think I've kind of been dropping things that way anyway due to scheduling. But officially on the record, this is going to become an every other week show for the duration as Corey and I work on our new podcast project.
Which, in fairness, is if you're worried, if you're like, is it going to be similar to this or is it some sort of scripted news show? It's similar to this, so don't sweat that too much.
But what they don't know is that this is a heavily scripted podcast already.
Yeah, every cough, every
Stutter and
sound drop, every stutter,
every moment
they've all been written.
where we
every
feel like
crosstalk,
like when it seems like we're trying to think of something to say, that's all acting.
and we're gonna continue to do that.
That pause, scripted.
Yeah, it was 4 blank pages in the script, and I thought that was wasteful in terms of paper usage, but
Right, and that's why we're getting
Whatever.
a divorce, because I don't reduce, reuse, and recycle enough for you.
classic American.
So, Corey, what are we talking about on this episode, though, now that we've got the business out of the way, awkwardly out of the way?
I think that was okay.
It was
What else do
fine.
you want us to say?
Yeah, again, stay on script, man.
This is it. That was all script. Speaking of classic American, we're talking about DOA, Dead or Alive, the hit film.
The movie's so nice, they named it twice.
The hit film about beach volleyball, an attempted heist, and also some martial arts.
And also some good old-fashioned fisticuffs. God, I am so excited to talk about this movie. It is no secret that I unironically love this fucking movie. Okay, anyone who's listened to me on Combat Time, the Combat Time podcast, did an episode where they ranked all of the non-Mortal Kombat fighting game movies. They brought me on for that one. So I watched all of them, and when it came to talk about DOA, this movie's perfect. Just like every single man and woman who appears in this film, we're talking 10 out of 10, baby.
A lot of people won't tell you this, but DOA stands for Dev on Aoki.
How long have you been sitting on that one?
I thought of it just now.
That's good. Oh, man, I tried to find my DVD of this movie because I own it on DVD. That's right. Because I wanted to check out the deleted scenes to see if there's anything good to talk about there. Didn't find the DVD. Didn't go through the work of looking the deleted scenes up on the internet either. But I did find a relic from MK PodQuest's past. My looks like it got ran over by a truck DVD copy of Death to the Supermodels.
Okay.
Starring Jaime Pressly.
Of course.
aka
Friend of the show.
Mika from Mortal Kombat Conquest, starring Brooke Burns, aka Jesse from Baywatch from Mortal Kombat Conquest,
I'm glad you said that one because I wouldn't have remembered. So
and starring Lee Seung Hai, aka Kiri from
that one I was gonna remember.
Mortal Kombat Conquest, and Reginald Vell Johnson from Die Hard 2.
The gang's all there. You know.
Yeah.
Everything you need and nothing you don't need.
Do you remember me talking about this movie? I'm sure you
I do.
remember me like flipping out when I learned it was a thing.
I do remember this process. I don't remember when, but like, you know, like anything sort of deeply important to one's life, it sort of has a permanent place in my brain.
It was during our first run through of Conquest. It was that long ago. And I remember buying the DVD for like $7, or it might have been $4 even. It might have been cheaper. And look, I'll sit through some shit. I couldn't sit through this fucking movie, dude. It is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Is that bad?
It is as good as DOA is. Death to the Supermodels is that bad.
That does make me want to see it.
Does it really? I'm
100% it does, yeah.
I'm open to it. There's obviously enough Conquest connections that this could get thrown on the list here.
I don't necessarily want to finish it, but the idea that you of all people did not finish it is almost unfathomable.
You know what? We're gonna add this to the list. Fuck it. We're gonna add this to the list for the next episode we record.
Oh, okay. That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, but here's what we're gonna both attempt to watch it and just
Don't say that. I'll finish the movie.
Okay. All right.
I'll say that. I'll say that now. Don't test me.
Fuck it. We're doing this next. It's gonna be a Jaime Pressly double feature on MK Podcast here. If you can't make it through, that's fine. We just talk
on
about
a scale
the part
of
we could get through.
1 to 10.
Yeah.
How hard am I about to eat my words?
I think pretty fucking hard, honestly.
Look, I've watched some dog shit for They Made Another One, man.
That's yeah, but at least those were movies.
You'd be surprised.
I'm not sure that this movie can be.
I don't want too much of a sense of it, but I have one question, and then I guess we should do the DOA thing.
Yeah.
Because you've had to cut out 85 coughs in the last 3 minutes.
They're actually not coming through.
My voice could fail at any second.
I may just use the Discord
I'm leaning
audio.
back as far as possible. But why is it not a movie?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've watched it. I just remember it like not feeling like something that was actually intended to be made, and more like just a collection of like vines, essentially.
Again, that sounds fascinating. What does that even mean?
But here's the thing. I can't say for sure that that's an accurate representation either, because it's been so long. I just remember feeling like, what is this? There's no cohesion in this. It doesn't seem like anybody knows what the fuck they're doing. Like,
what is it called? Death 2?
Death to the Supermodels. Corey, I'm going to send you, before you bring up the IMDb page. Actually, you know what? Are you going to IMDb?
I can.
I want you to take a look at you know how they show the photos, right?
They do.
Yeah. I want you to tell me what the photos are. Because I had that shit screenshotted and ready to send you.
So there's 72 photos, but you wouldn't know that just by checking, because the first 3 are near identical frames of this woman's butt. And then
somebody's
if you look
derriere.
at the 4th one, it just pulls out, and then when you hit the arrow, you get a very awkward extreme close-up of Jaime Pressly's face.
Yeah.
And then 3 sort of nonsensical frames of leaning over some kind of box.
I don't know what's going on here. Yeah. I think,
why is there 72 photos?
I don't know, man. Somebody had a fun time with this. I remember this movie being just like incredibly, I mean, it was 2005, right? This is the year before DOA came out. And it just being like incredible, like just the jokes, just 100% at the expense of people you shouldn't be making jokes about.
Fucking
okay.
Oh my god! I have clicked to photo 18, and I don't even want to say what the photo is of. So, you know, do with that information kind of what you will. Yeah, the more I'm clicking through these, like, this will be a challenge. I think.
No, this is
our greatest challenge yet.
It's gonna be.
Can somebody manage to finish this movie?
It's gonna be bad. It's not gonna be a fun experience.
Oh, boy, I'm gonna stop clicking soon, but also, yikes. Yikes! 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 Yikes!
I have
Yikes!
a feeling once you've seen this movie, you will be craving Poison Ivy 3 as like a palate cleanser.
I dispute that.
In fact, fuck it. Let's just go for the Jaime Pressly triple feature.
I don't think we necessarily need to do that. Dude, if you click far enough into the photos, it goes back to the photos at the beginning.
Just like a whole nother set of them.
Yes.
It sure fucking does, doesn't it? Just
wow, dude. Holy fuck.
yeah, this is gonna be
Yo, I regret everything I said earlier, but
this is gonna be a challenge.
here we go.
Bits and pieces are starting to come back to me as I'm scrolling through these images.
Can't believe we're gonna do this for free. Meanwhile, we have people offering to pay us to watch bad movies.
Yeah, but we're not watching God is Not Dead 2. We're not doing it.
Sorry, David.
Sorry, man. Not happening.
Anyway, Dead or Alive?
Dead or a fucking live.
For the Dreamcast, maybe?
Yeah, for the Dreamcast, Dead or Alive 2. One of the best 3D fighters that was released on that console. Actually, that's how I learned about Dead or Alive. That game fucking rules so hard. Have you played any Dead or Alive games?
No. And I also don't know. I'm sure at some point in my life I saw some footage of the fighting game, but I can guarantee you I've seen footage of the beach volleyball game.
Oh, sure. Well, which beach volleyball game? Apparently there's several. There's
a lot. Whichever one, I don't know, was being... Well, first of all, I've seen it used in a bunch of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
There is also a fairly popular Game Grumps Let's Play of one of the Dead or Alive beach volleyball games.
Okay.
In which they try to woo Helena to mixed results.
Mixed results.
Yeah, that's how I describe it. I remember watching G4.
Oh boy.
And when I was a kid on TV.
I bet their coverage of the Dead or Alive volleyball games was like really
good,
like chill and cool.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely. Probably didn't suck and was bad for like a 10-year-old to watch or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that those are basically just mini games.
Yeah.
Where you ogle babes with the cutting edge tit technology. And that's sort of all that is. And then
sure.
I guess I'm assuming the fighting game is more in line with like a Virtua Fighter kind of situation.
Yeah, actually that's pretty accurate. The first Dead or Alive game borrows the Virtua Fighter engine, tweaks it, gameplay's not identical, but pretty close.
But I've never played it.
Okay. I am a big fan of the fighting games. The first three, well, primarily like 2 is the one I spent the most time with on the Dreamcast, and then eventually got the PlayStation 2 and then the original Xbox re-releases of those, like the upgraded versions. Dead or Alive 3 was like when I got my OG Xbox, I got like a bundle from KB Toys, like launch day, and it came with Halo, Dead or Alive 3, and Project Gotham Racing. So like I was in early on the series. I've played all of the fighting game entries. 1 through 5 I think are really good fighting games. 6, the fighting is good, but the story mode absolutely fucking sucks. It got like they started leaning like real hard into like the ooh of it all, if you know what I mean. Like,
sure.
What's frustrating about the series is that there is a very cool subplot of like this corporation trying to steal and clone the ninja clans. And
I'm sorry, it's about stealing and cloning ninja clans.
Yeah.
Movie wouldn't really tell you that.
No, well the movie takes a little bit of a different path that still kind of references it.
It's adjacent.
But around all of that, because it's centered on this fighting tournament, you get the other characters who are like, for the most part, attractive young women who kick a lot of ass, and they started leaning hard into the sort of anime tropes of it all, because that's, it sells, right? That's fine. But it's frustrating for me because like I actually was into the ninja storyline, and then the anime trope stuff really it wasn't my kind of anime trope stuff, if that makes sense. And so like I can't even get through the story of Dead or Alive 6. It's just a fucking trash mess. But I guess I'll go on record here and say that I did spend quite a bit of time with Dead or Alive Extreme 2 on the Xbox 360. It's the only one of the volleyball games that I own, and it's a bad game. It's not like the volleyball isn't fun in it. The jet ski racing isn't fun in it, and the dating simulator part isn't.
Yeah, it's mostly for that
fun
part,
in it either. None of it is fun. But I don't know. I just got that game at a point in my life where I was looking for some kind of a distraction like that, and I put like, I don't know, probably 10 hours into it, and
I put, I don't know,
You know.
500 hours into it.
No, I didn't put 500 hours into it, but I'm not gonna blame anybody who did.
If you want to play fucking sexy volleyball, who am I?
Yeah, I spent time with Sexy Volleyball Game.
We're
on the
making a
360.
podcast about the movie DOA.
Yeah. We're about to talk
Are you
about
kidding me?
the sexiest movie I've ever seen.
We're about to talk about women objectification, the movie.
All right, Corey, let's dive into this thing. Do you want to go classic Corey Corner Neil Nook with this bad boy?
It's gonna be a quick Corey Corner. I'm gonna do it kind of as a joke, if that's fine.
You do whatever you want to do, man. It's the Corey Corner. It's yours. I'm gonna hit the sounder.
Welcome to the Corey Corner. This movie is about 4 things.
Yeah.
It's about female friendship.
Yep.
It's about, wouldn't it be cool to live on a big fancy island?
Uh-huh.
It's about what it means to have a good relationship with your father and extended family.
Yep.
At various points. Well, I know, like your close family, not extended family, actually.
Sure.
And
And
it is perhaps most importantly about the dangers of generative AI tools being used by tech bros.
100%. Yeah.
Could not be a better timed podcast if we tried.
This is what they call a 4-quadrant movie, right?
Yeah, the big 4.
Yeah. This tackles all of them.
The large 4.
I'd add on to that last point. It's also about the dangers of like selling medical data.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's in there too, right? Like the right to medical privacy is definitely like at risk in this world at the current day. So,
Well, I mean, they did get nanobots injected, and then nobody asked what they were for.
because Eric Roberts was like, "Trust me, bro."
Like, I don't know. But doing 2 podcasts today was an interesting idea, given all the coughing. So, see, from here, explaining the plot feels stupid because it starts with like 4 separate vignettes.
Right.
We're introduced to 4 women who, for various reasons, know how to kick a lot of ass.
Sure.
We have Kasumi,
Yeah.
who is the princess of some kind of clan.
Yep.
And her brother went to the Dead or Alive fighting tournament and appears to be dead or maybe alive. We don't know.
That's where the title comes from.
But she gets invited in sort of Buck's convention and decides, like, I'm going to go try to find my brother at the Dead or Alive fighting tournament.
Yeah.
We have Christy, who is good at stealing and killing.
Uh-huh.
And wants to go to the Dead or Alive tournament to steal. Not really kill, but mostly steal. A bunch of money with some random dude.
Yeah, some guy made up for the movie named Max.
He was giving made up for the movie, for sure. We've got Tina, who is just Johnny Cage, basically. She is a pro wrestler who wants to prove that she's got real moves.
Yeah.
And does, in fact, have real moves. And also her dad is a wrestler as well, and he's there hanging out.
Yep.
So we have everybody, and then we also have... oh gosh, I guess technically it's 5. No, but I'm realizing I could arguably amend the number of women I said were here.
Yeah.
We have Helena.
Yeah.
Whose dad invented Dead or Alive and then appears to have dead or alived under mysterious circumstances.
Sure. Helena from that Game Grumps video you were talking about earlier.
Presumably, although that character's definitely French.
Oh, yeah.
And she's super not French in this movie at all.
Nope, not even a little bit.
And then we've also got Ayane, who's sort of an afterthought, but she's from the ninja clan that Kasumi is in.
Right.
And she doesn't like that she's out at Dead or Alive, and also was in love with her brother.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all around, but mostly the first 4, trying to win the tournament.
Sure.
Familiar territory, surrounded by a bunch of terrible men. And the guy running the tournament didn't write his name down even once. Don't remember what it is.
Do you want it, or do you just not want to say
Donovan, maybe?
You got it.
Is that it?
Yeah, Donovan.
Wow, That was a shot in the dark. Donovan is like a surfer old man.
Yeah, dude, gonna be
doing
real.
Like East Asian cosplay.
I hadn't noticed his braid until like this viewing.
Yeah, and he and Hacker Man run
Sure.
the tournament. The long and short of it, the important part is that he is using this tournament.
Yes. Yes. What is he? Yeah. What is he using this tournament for?
So here's what he's doing. Here's what he's doing with this tournament, right?
Yeah.
So, he is.
Sorry.
You're making me laugh. I was gonna be fine, and then
All
you
right.
just broke down.
I'm sorry. It's just the stupidest thing in the world.
So he has. How about this? He has a series of investors.
Yeah.
He is a group of venture capitalists on a
Yes.
Zoom call,
Yeah.
and he also has a sponsorship with Oakley.
Yeah.
And what he's going to do is he's going to take the data harvested from nanobots in the bloodstreams of the fighters in DOA.
Yeah.
He has uploaded that to the cloud, used a big red laser to download it into his high-tech sunglasses.
Yes.
And if you're wearing the sunglasses, machine learning will predict what the person who is about to fight you will do if you have downloaded their moves.
Mhm.
If you haven't downloaded their moves, they don't do anything. So it really does hinge on, did I download their moves? It's unclear if they make you fight better,
Right.
but it runs like an algorithm that will predict how the
Yeah.
fight will go and let you fight them better by knowing all of their plans.
It's like the thing is, it's like the sunglasses are free, right? But then there's microtransactions and like a loot crate system
It's a software company.
to download. Yeah, to download the fighter data. You have to like get it in packs, right?
So, and he's gonna sell that to 6 guys who look like they were probably on the crew of the movie.
Yeah, just like 6 dudes. Just like 6 dudes. Buyers from around the world, as they're described.
Allegedly, reportedly. And they need to stop that. Now, that whole last thing I said, the last 25 minutes of the movie, maybe.
Yeah.
In a movie that's like barely 80 minutes.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that that's really like the core thrust or anything.
No.
It's more about what if a bunch of hot people were doing things.
Just things.
Some of that's definitely fighting.
There's
and
a lot
the
of
fighting's
fighting.
really cool.
Yes.
Some of it's talking. Some of it's just sort of hanging out, like platonically sleeping together.
Right.
Some of it's beach volleyball.
Yeah.
Some of it's just sort of walking around.
Uh-huh.
And most of the movie is that.
Yep.
Vast majority of the movie is that.
It's
At a couple different points, there's video game health bars.
yeah.
And
It's
there's
always
a
fun
full,
when they
like,
work that shit in.
there's like a full sports broadcast graphics package for DOA.
Yeah, for this in the internal like infrastructure. Like,
Yeah,
this
it
isn't
appears
being-
to mostly be broadcast to staff.
Yeah, just
So
people on the
that's a
island
little weird.
and Weatherby sitting in his little hacker chair.
Yeah,
I get the feeling he was just like bored. And
That's
so he
basically
came
it.
up with all that shit. So he like to entertain himself, like to keep
that's
himself
all
busy.
that's all the plot you need, and
That's
that's
all the
also all the
plot.
plot the movie has.
That's yeah. Hayate, they find Hayate at the end and they blow up Eric Roberts and everyone goes home happy. Right?
It is Eric Roberts.
It is Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
A couple years before his return to stardom with The Dark Knight.
Understandable. Yeah, I think that's basically it.
Yeah, this is a movie that you need to see.
Correct. Yes,
Yeah.
I would say that.
You want to go over to the Neil Nook?
Yeah.
Welcome to
Right, it's been a while.
the Neil Nook.
It's Gucci. God, I really hope Discord picked that up, and I don't think it did because you didn't laugh.
It got all mumbled. What did you say?
Oh, I just screamed really loud and said, "Oh, sorry, it's been a while."
You did that last time. You did that on the
Well,
Sabrina episode.
And it's been a few weeks, hasn't it?
God, I'm gonna have to edit that in. All right, we'll make it work. All
You
right.
don't have to. Honestly, it might be funnier if they just hear that.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. I'll
You
leave it
did
that
that
way.
last time.
All right. Yeah. So it's not going in this episode. All right. We're gonna hit a few highlights here. There's a lot of people in this that like you can look at the IMDb on your own, but I want to talk about the director, Corey Yuen, who is a sort
He's
of
that fucking dude, man.
he's a
That dude is
legendary
awesome.
legendary Hong Kong actor and director, primarily I think known as a director these days.
Yeah.
This is the last movie he directed. He hasn't directed anything since then.
And what a way to go out.
Yeah.
Going on top, frankly.
Did he produce Red Cliff or just do stunts on it? I don't know. Like, he's still doing stuff.
I have an academic textbook on Hong Kong action cinema, so I'm deeply familiar with this man.
Hell yeah. I will tell you, the only thing that I really I'm sure I've seen several of his movies, but the one that I know I've seen multiple times is The Legend 2, The Legend of Fong Sai-yuk 2 with Jet Li.
Right.
I love that movie. He's got this sensibility about him where stuff is like silly, right?
Yes.
And he translated that over into this, one of his few, I think, English language. This was still filmed in China. This wasn't filmed like in LA or anything. But
well, Tina's in the South China Sea, so she had to be in China.
Yeah, that could be anywhere, right? You just put words on a screen. That doesn't mean you have to actually be in. No,
legally it does, doesn't it?
I guess you're right.
So the Star Trek movies aren't from the future?
No, those are present day space adventures. They have to be by your logic.
How?
I don't know.
They say they took place in the future, so they must be from the future.
Wormholes.
And she's in the South China Sea, so it must be the South China Sea.
I'm not keeping track of this gag. Sorry, man. Just it's wormholes. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe you'll laugh in the edit.
There, I'll slide that over. Okay, I've seen a few more of this. Like this guy directed The Transporter, which is a movie I've seen 10 times, the original one, and a movie called So Close, which I have also seen. You saw that on DVD. Great director. I think a great choice for a movie like this. Right?
Absolutely.
Fantastic choice. Now, this movie was written by 3 people. Okay.
One for each letter of DOA.
We're going to start with Adam and Seth Gross, who both wrote for Bill Nye the Science Guy and America's Funniest People.
That's a genuine shock.
And a movie, called Devour, starring Jensen Ackles.
Oh, one of the Supernatural boys.
Yeah, it came out in 2005.
They were busy in the mid-aughts.
Yeah, not so much right now.
You don't say.
And the third writer of this movie, J.F. Lawton, wrote Under Siege 2, wrote Pretty Woman.
What?
The movie Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts.
Right.
Yeah, the guy who wrote that also worked on the DOA script.
Okay, good.
I'm guessing this might be a punch-up situation, right? Considering the other 2 people were a writing duo. Could be the vice versa.
Yeah, J.F. Lawton just really loved DOA.
J.F. Lawton, also the creator of a little show called VIP.
We really make a show that's actually about one thing.
We do.
Everything revolves around the same shit.
It all folds in on itself. Another Mortal Kombat connection here. Our first Mortal Kombat connection here. This movie was produced by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Friend of the show.
Director of Mortal Kombat 95 and Death Race 2000. Nope. Regular old Death Race, not Death Race 2000. Fuck. And other things. Whatever. More Mortal Kombat connections. We're going to hit those first. Why do we care about Dead or Alive on this podcast? Because it stars Jaime Pressly, a.k.a. Miko from Mortal Kombat Conquest. Are you all right?
I just hit my toes so hard I could not help but scream about it.
Holy shit.
Oh, fuck. That really hurt. Sorry.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Not great.
It's been a minute since you've done that on the recording.
Fuck. I just kicked my subwoofer, dude.
Jeez.
Right. It's under my desk. Okay, please continue.
Everything good?
No, but I'll be fine. I can barely talk without coughing and my foot's gonna fall off, but I'm good.
All right, just power through, man. We're almost done.
Yeah, we're almost done the Neil.
Starring Jaime Pressly. You all know why. Also, Robin Shou in a very small role as a Chinese pirate who tries to steal Jaime Pressly's
That's why
yacht.
I fucking recognize that face. Motherfucker. I was trying to place it the whole, because he comes back at the end. I was trying to place it the whole fucking time.
Yeah, that's Robin Shou.
Damn it.
That's Liu Kang. We got Liu Kang versus Mika in this.
God.
Robin Shou also has a role in Death Race, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. It's always nice to see him when he turns up, and that guy should be in way more stuff than he is. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a good actor. But glad to see him here in any case. All right. Devon Aoki as Kasumi. Devon Aoki, of course, in Too Fast, Too Furious, Debs.
Yeah, Debs.
Which is a movie I haven't seen, but probably would like. I don't know. What do you think?
I haven't actually. It's something I want to see. I'm intrigued by a band I like. Did some Debs based Instagram posting a while ago.
Nice.
It seems like it might be cool, or at least from 2004.
So
Like-
maybe cool for 2004 times.
Yeah, maybe.
She was also in Sin City as Miho, the first Sin City movie. She had quite a run here. She's a model by trade, right? So
Yeah, she stopped acting pretty early, and that feels like a loss.
yeah, I like her whenever she turns up. She's the half sibling of DJ and producer Steve Aoki.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Moving on, we've got Sarah Carter as Helena Douglas. I mostly know Sarah Carter from like 3 early episodes of Smallville. And I believe stuff's like 100 Hottest Women from 2005 or something. Holly Valance as Christy. I don't think I've seen anything else that she's in. Oh, she was in Taken. She was in the movie Taken and did a voice in Command and Conquer Red Alert 3 Uprising. And Pledge This, which I think is a National Lampoon's movie starring Paris Hilton. Yeah, that checks out. Natasha Mouth plays Ayani. Natasha Mouth is worth noting because she took the role of Rain from the Blood Rain movies over from Kristana Loken. So that's like a half a Mortal Kombat Conquest connection there.
We make a movie about, or a podcast about one thing.
We make a podcast about one fucking thing. Remember what you were saying before we recorded where it just does seem like all of this is guided by me? I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry that I keep doing this to you.
No, it's funny. It's good.
Guy I want to talk a little bit about, Kane Kosugi as Ryu Hayabusa, son of Shou Kosugi, who's a legendary Japanese actor. Kane Kosugi's got a hell of a career in Japanese films and not a strong enough one in like Western cinema, in my opinion, because I think he's a very talented like martial artist and actor. He was in Godzilla Final Wars, which I think is the first time I really saw him. He was the Japanese voice of Ryu in the Street Fighter Alpha anime, which is pretty sick. He did a lot of like Super Sentai work, not stuff I'm super familiar with. He did some Ultraman. He did an Ultraman series. You know, he's a guy. Here's a big one, and by big one I mean terrible one. He was Kazuya in the Tekken sequel that's actually a prequel, Tekken Kazuya's Revenge, which is the worst movie I've ever had the displeasure of watching.
That you finished, or
that I finished. I watched it for that Combat Time episode that I mentioned earlier. It is I know I said this about Death of the Supermodels. If we're talking about fighting game movie adaptations, Kazuya's Revenge is the opposite of DOA in that it is dull, drab, boring, slow, overly complicated, and tries way too hard to be like thoughtful and dark, and is just a fucking nightmare to watch. And it's a shame that Kane Kosugi got stuck in that movie because like he's much better. Like he deserves better, right? Yeah, he's done some Kamen Rider stuff too. That's pretty cool. Like I like this guy. You could also catch him occasionally on Ninja Warrior when that was running before it was American Ninja Warrior. He was a regular contestant on Ninja Warrior. Eric Roberts as Donovan. It's Julia Roberts' brother or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. He's really Julia Roberts' brother, half brother.
Learning something new every day.
Weird cousin. No, brother. Yeah, he's Emma Roberts' dad. Emma Roberts from Scream 4.
Oh, they're all related?
Yeah, you didn't know that either about Emma Roberts?
No, I didn't. Nepotism be crazy,
man,
dude.
Fucking, I know, Hollywood royalty, right? I'm gonna blow through some of these. Brian White deserves a mention playing Zach. He was in the Taken TV series, so it was like ships passing in the night, right? Chicago Fire, a bunch of television credits. I liked him in this. I'm not crazy about the characterization of Zach, but I thought he was good in the role. And we're going to talk a little bit about Bass Armstrong, a.k.a. Tina Armstrong's dad.
Correct.
Played by professional wrestler Kevin Nash. Having the fucking time of his life.
Kevin Nash, genuinely great in this movie.
Really fucking good.
Both having the time of his life and like playing the role to perfection.
Yeah, no, it was great. That's it for the Neil Nook. I think we're going to close it on that one. There's other people in this, but like, look them up yourself. All right. Like, I just want to talk about how good this movie is. Because Corey, this movie is good.
Oh, I thought you were going to keep going. Sorry.
No, I've said that a bunch. I've said that it's good a bunch. I'm really anxious to get your honest read of this movie.
You know one thing, which is that during the movie,
yeah,
I said a handful of things.
You did. I want to read I'm going to read Corey's messages that he sent me. All right. The first thing you said was, "We've got a bra on a gun in the first 8 minutes."
Yeah. That is what I said. Also, I do want to acknowledge this may not be true of all versions of this movie, but the version that I watched on a random YouTube stream has one of the worst sound mixes I've ever heard on anything in my entire life. Ever. It's very, very, very bad. That did hamper my viewing experience somewhat because I basically had to ride my volume levels the entire movie.
Right. I can again, I told you there that I've watched this in several platforms and media types and never had that issue. So that must have been a problem with the YouTube upload that you watched.
Yeah. So the next relevant message is not until one about a big muscle guy.
No, but I'm gonna read. I hope this movie chooses to have a host the entire time because getting an explanatory video on the world's widest plane set is very funny.
They didn't even try to make it look like a plane.
Followed by, "Bro, her dad is here."
I wasn't expecting that. Why would I have any reason to expect that?
I was trying not to react too much. I was just like fucking cracking up at these. Anyway, Leon just cocked his arms and it made gun sounds.
It's like the elevated version of the fucking, what's his fucking face from Mission Impossible.
The Henry Cavill scene, yeah.
It's like, what if that scene had actual sound effects?
Did you catch the second time they did that?
I did notice in my notes that there were multiple points where human bodies made gun sounds.
Maybe not the second time, but there's a part where it's when Jaime Pressly, when Tina is fighting Zach in the Forbidden Courtyard or whatever they call it, right? And she does, it's a front flip, like head drop kick, like Kung Lao likes to do. And as she does the flip, you hear a shotgun cock. And then as she hits his head, you hear it fire.
Which is insane.
It goes so fucking hard.
And then I need a whole movie of Tina and Bass.
Yes. And I said, finally, you're getting it.
Oh, and then right at the end of the movie, the second the movie ended, my internet went out.
Produced by Jeremy Bolt and Paul W.S. Anderson. So it's safe to say you had a pretty good time with this, right?
Yeah, this movie's fucking crazy. Yeah, sorry, you're gonna have to cut a lot of that out.
That's fine.
It's happening frequently.
The real reason we're going to an every other week schedule is I have more time to edit out Corey's coughing.
Yeah, my various health ailments.
And my own, because man, it's been fucking with me lately too.
I haven't heard a single one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing okay right now. I took a bunch of medicine before we started recording.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I do note that I think this movie would play even better in a group.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair.
Than watching it by myself in my room the night before needing to podcast about it because I had to.
Right.
But yeah, no, this is a delightful, ridiculous, deeply dumb movie.
Yes.
But I'm not saying dumb in like a pejorative way at all. It's just like it wants to be silly and kind of stupid and like just have big fun action and some jokes and like big weird sets and stuff. And it does.
It does. And it works. Like this came out in 2006, right? Which was honestly like kind of just a bad time for movies in my opinion. Like generally, right? Like this was the time where they were making like just tons of video game adaptation movies just like to make a quick buck. Like I don't know if the Hitman movie was coming out around this time and like the Max Payne movie and all of that kind of shit. I think Tekken came out around this time and like you've seen Tekken, right? It sucks. Movies were just like going for this like dark and gritty like attitude, and then like Dead or Alive comes along and it's like, fuck that. What are you talking about? Like we're just going to make like we're all here and we are aware that we're making a really fucking dumb movie and we're all on board for that. Like we're just going to lean hard into that and make something that's actually like fun to watch and not trying to be like super deep and edgy.
Yeah, this movie's candy.
It is a soda and a pixie stick, this fucking movie.
It is worth acknowledging the degree to which everybody is on board because holy fuck, everybody is on the same page, which is not always the case.
No, and like I don't even think I don't even think that's entirely true. I think that's just something that happened out of necessity a little bit, because apparently Koryuin and his entire crew didn't really speak English. There was like, it was really hard for the crew and the cast to communicate. And there were only like 2 people on set who could translate. And that led to a lot. I think that what that led to was a lot of like, fuck it, let's just do our best.
Yeah.
And it fucking came together in the end, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it looks like everyone's just having a great time, right? I mean, there's like extended scenes of people just hanging out on the fucking beach, right?
And like, so at the beginning of the movie, Tina's yacht gets invaded by Robin Shou.
Right.
And that ends with one of the pirates seeing all of his friends get beat up, and he got stuck in a pilot light or in a skylight, and he just goes, he basically just goes, "Oh, I should also get off the boat now, huh?"
Right.
And he just jumps away scared.
He like mimes. He's like, she like helps him up, and then he like like points at himself and points overboard, and she's like, "Yep," and he's like, "Ee."
Yeah,
I know,
like this movie. It's not a serious film,
not even a little bit.
And the most self-seriousness that comes with any of this is like the Kasumi stuff,
right?
But even then, it's very like, I think, aware of just being like, but my brother, my brother.
Even that you can only take so serious when at the beginning of the movie, I'm
not saying it's serious. I don't mean that it's actually serious, but like,
I almost feel like that was a conscious choice, because
that's what
Look, I'm not going to get into like the ways they changed the personalities of the characters from the
who cares?
depictions of the video, because who the fuck cares? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I don't care.
Helena's really big into rollerblading.
Yeah, right. That was probably the weirdest thing to me.
Rollerblading safety.
That was the weirdest thing to me, was just seeing somebody like super into rollerblading in 2006.
So I took a note, and it was, I was like, isn't 2006 like maybe 2 years late for the rollerblading thing?
100% it is. It maybe more.
I shouldn't be able to acknowledge that. I was 9. But I was like, I don't get why she's this. And also she's like wearing like elbow pads and knee pads and shit.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Safety first. You gotta wear proper padding when you rollerblade, but then just fucking bare knuckle box everybody at any time, like without any notice on the island.
At first, I thought they say no notice, and then like Tina and Bass, for example, just decide when they're gonna fight each other, and it becomes a game on a raft, so nobody actually cares.
Right? No, nobody cares. I guess they're allowed. Maybe like if consent is key, right?
At the beginning, when she is in that video on the plane, I thought that she was going to be like emceeing the movie, and they were just going to keep cutting to a girl on a TV that loves to rollerblade. And I'm like, that is one of the funniest. I thought that on its own was like one of the funniest things I could imagine. Obviously, that's not quite what happens, but I was like, are they just going to keep cutting back to her over and over again?
You'd believe it in a movie like this, right? Like you're like, yeah, no.
Honestly, I wish they had almost.
God, but speaking of that plane scene, right? How many movies do you get like 2 scenes almost immediately of people leaping off of things and like hang gliding or parachuting away?
So does Kasumi wear that paraglider like all day, every day?
She must, right? Because like, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about at the beginning, where she like wuxia like leaps on the backs of all of the presumable ninjas, right? In the temple.
Yeah, this movie has a fuck ton of wuxia in it.
Yeah.
By the way.
And she like leaps over the wall and then like throws off her yukata, and then she's just suddenly had this like hang gliding thing. She's in like
Y2K extreme sports gear.
Yeah. It's like as soon as that kicks, and then like the fucking invitation shuriken just like flies through the air, and she grabs it, and I was like, oh, this movie knows exactly what it's fucking doing. And then like 8 minutes later, we're on the plane, and Helena's like, okay, time to bail out of the airplane. The only way down is to parachute everybody. Like, I don't know. It's like, man, this movie's fucking extreme, right? Give Koryuin the Point Break remake.
I hope you guys can climb this big tower before sundown with the power of friendship.
Yeah. And they did it, man. They all came together.
Dude. So Christy is like in a hotel room at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
In a towel.
Yes.
And this dude just kind of walks in, like the cops or whatever.
Sure.
And the way that she escapes that particular issue requires 2 things that happen. One is that she has to convince the cop to hand her bra via a gun,
Right. She didn't ask
hanging
him.
it off of a gun.
He made that decision on his own.
She knew he would because she has the glasses.
Right.
She has the AI glasses.
Well, more like she's like, oh, this gun, phallic,
Yeah.
this man, horny, he's going to use this gun, right? Like
Yeah,
she just put all the
and,
pieces together.
And then she kicks everybody's ass. But then she runs through this hotel in like her underwear.
Uh-huh.
And then she gets in an elevator. And when she leaves the elevator, she has managed to take a guy's trench coat and
Yep.
also stuffed him in a suitcase.
Yeah, she has.
And then runs out of the hotel, jumps onto a motorcycle, and instantly gets DOA shurikened.
Little bit of trivia, and this is allegedly true. And this, again, I couldn't find my DVD to check out the deleted scenes. Apparently, that scene was filmed as a nude scene, where all of that hotel room stuff she did just fully nude.
And then the studio was like, maybe put a towel on.
And then they were like, you know what? Let's change this so we can get the coveted PG-13 rating. The other thing that every studio wanted between 2002 and 2008.
It would be comically just unbelievable if the reason, if first of all, this movie was rated R at all, because it's not particularly violent.
No.
And if the reason it was rated R was only because that scene exclusively had nudity and the rest of it didn't.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I saw in the trivia that there was. That's the only nudity mentioned. Allegedly, it's in the deleted scenes, but I haven't seen it. Also, according to Holly Vance, about 40 bikinis were ruined while making this film.
That number, frankly, seems low.
It does. Yeah.
So I just want to give people a sense of how this movie feels about its women.
Sure.
I do think it's a two-way street, but it's worth acknowledging the ways in which those streets diverge from each other.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
On the one hand, this is some of the most gratuitous objectification of women I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of it. Yeah.
There's like there's multiple shots where they're establishing that a fight is about to happen, and to set up who's standing where, they will do a shot from behind one of the fighters that is just their whole ass.
Just like pans across their ass.
Yeah, they do that multiple times to multiple people. When Kasumi fights Ayane in the bamboo forest, which is a fight that is pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
The only part of her outfit that gets cut makes her boobs more visible.
Sure. Well, she was in a bathing suit prior to that, so
she was in a robe and it is cut to reveal the bathing suit.
Yep.
And then there's a bunch of other gratuitous horny shit. Mm-hmm. At the same time, Zach, the gross perv man, is hitting on Tina, and Tina spends the whole movie like thwarting his plans.
Yeah.
To be horny. So like that's something. And all the women like accomplish all of their goals without the help from any of the men. Are all sort of bumbling idiots.
Yeah. It does really heavily boil down to like these 5 women, I guess, with Ayane there. I don't know. Maybe this is the wrong way to say this. It doesn't feel super exploitative to me. Like, there's not a lot of sexual situations, right? It is more just like male gaze, eye candy kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like exploitative in the way that like a music video might be.
Right. Yeah.
Or
and that's
like
not for everybody.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do want to make clear it's completely egregious. And it may be something that you just have no time for, like as a viewer, and it would get old really fast because it's a lot of the movie.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Like the volleyball sequence is just like babes playing volleyball, and you're like, okay,
right. But
I can
also
see why somebody might be frustrated by that.
At the end of the day, it is PG-13, and it's a lot of women in swimsuits. Yeah. I mean,
it's nothing that you weren't really getting out of a Sports Illustrated.
Right. It's what you would expect from a Dead or Alive movie.
If anything, it's like remarkably on brand.
Yeah, it's actually like I've seen some of like the DLC costumes. Like it's remarkably tame compared to some of the shit you can get away with in some of those games.
Also, the most sexual situation, other than Zach being a pervert,
right,
is Tina's dad thinking she might be a lesbian.
Yeah, which is so
because she's sharing a bed with Christy.
Right, because her room gets like trashed when a fight breaks out.
Kasumi and fucking Shotgun Arms
Leon, yeah,
fight, and they fly through the fucking wall. And they're like, okay, I guess I can't sleep in here anymore. So, she's sleeping in bed with Christy, and her dad busts through because they need to fight each other.
Yeah.
And he's all awkward about it and being like, "Oh man, I didn't mean to come in here. Is everybody good? What's up with? Do we need to talk?" And she's like, "Dad, leave me alone." And then
Yeah, I love the line when he like asks Tina, "What's your friend's name?" And she's like, "It's Christy," and he goes, "Tina's real name is Christina." Like he's like excited and
so yeah, like he's just immediately down. He's totally fine with it. He's a good dad. I do think he's a great dad, actually. Legendary dad behavior. And then she goes to hang out with Kasumi and is like getting acupuncture, and her dad rolls up to fight her again. He's like, "Oh fuck, I'm here again." And then my thing about that is when he goes, "Does Christy know?"
Does Christy know about you too? I know.
I'm like, dude, this is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
What? Like, that's awesome.
It's great.
So
yeah,
good.
it's really fucking fun. Yeah, that's like the Jamie.
She's just like, "Dad." Like,
I know. The Jaime Pressly parts of this were the most entertaining, like because she's like a good comedic actor in addition to just having like charisma on screen. Like she can handle that stuff really well. I love the Tina and Bass stuff. Definitely my favorite part of the movie. Also, I need to shoehorn in here a little an addendum to the Neil Nook. If you'll give me a second.
Yeah.
Let me find the. All right, we're just gonna hit the fast button here real quick.
Welcome to the Neil Nook.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Colin Shou, who plays Hayate, Kasumi's brother who was captured. Colin Shou, a lot of people are going to know him from The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions as Seraph, but he's also just like a great martial artist, like a great martial arts actor. He was also in The Forbidden Kingdom. That was the movie with, I believe, was that the Jackie Chan and Jet Li movie? Yeah, and he's just got like a very, very long career as well. Also a great actor. Like I shone a light on King Kasugi. I really want to make sure I shine a light on Colin Shou also, because like having them in the same movie is also kind of a big deal for like a martial arts nerd like I was, is particularly back in 2006 when I watched this for the first time. And I do want to talk a little bit about his character in Hayabusa's and I want to talk about the ninjas, I guess is what I'm getting at, right?
Okay.
Because that is a huge part of the game, right? And like this storyline of Hayate going missing and then Kasumi leaving her clan to find him and becoming a shinobi who is being hunted by Ayane, that is all game stuff, right? That is like the most accurate part from the games. But they do make one weird twist where in this they made Ayane and Hayate like lovers. But
is that not a thing?
No, in game canon they're half brother and half sister.
Oh, good. Cool.
Yeah. So that was a weird choice, and I don't know why they went that way. Like it didn't really add anything to the plot to have them be like lovers or whatever. And like I don't know, maybe there's some weird shit going on in the games that I didn't pay much attention to, or there might have been something. There's an overall general thing where like the Asian characters from the game, characters like Genfu and Li Fang and Jan Li, all got relegated to like background roles. And,
yeah,
and the movie
also
really
immediately.
Yeah, and the movie really does focus on like
the white people.
A lot of white people. Yeah.
Yeah, well, how else was a movie going to be popular in America if you didn't just load it to the brim with white people, Neil? It was 2006.
You know, it's a good point. How stupid of me to even question it. But I liked these scenes, like the flashback Kasumi has where she was like kidnapped and Hayate like showed up to like rescue her in the rain,
that
you know?
Fucking looks insane. Like the artificial soft focus is really bizarre looking. It's very funny.
Yeah. It felt like he was like really kind of going for like a Shaw Brothers aesthetic with those scenes.
Yeah.
And it worked, right? But I really liked like that scene. I like the parts and like when Hayabusa, by the way, that is Ryu Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden games. It is the same character.
What?
Hayabusa in Dead or Alive is the Ninja Gaiden protagonist.
What?
Yeah.
Huh? What? Why?
Because they're both made by Tecmo. So like when they made Dead or Alive, they stuck Hayabusa, they stuck their ninja in it.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't like his characterization in this. I didn't like him just kind of like being like this whiny dude who's like seems to be into Kasumi.
Oh, he is.
But like in the video game, not to be that guy, but like in the games, like it's fucking Ryu Hayabusa. Like dude just like cuts arms off like it's just another Tuesday, like in the video games, right? And in this, he's just like, please, we come home, or whatever. But I like when they gave Ken Kusugi that like sweet fight scene where he's infiltrating the like the headquarters during the volleyball game. that was a good fight. Like that was just like a really strong fight, and I liked the way they were cutting that back and forth between that and the volleyball game. That worked really well for me. And then yeah, I don't know. I like the ninja stuff. What was your favorite fight scene though in the movie
I think
overall?
the actual best one is the bamboo forest one.
The bamboo forest, that one's really strong. Yeah.
It's the best looking one. Like it's doing a lot of creative stuff with the bamboo and some really zany, like you cut it into like a cone and like trap your sword inside of it.
That was really cool. So that Ayane and Kasumi fight.
I think so. I think that's like the conventionally the best. Like it's the most like aesthetically interesting. I'm sure I'm not thinking of some like goofy shit, but like does Tina and Bass like fighting on a raft count? Because I wouldn't call that a fight, but like it's funny.
It counts. That was a fun scene. My favorite fight, and this was like definitely designed to be like the showstopper fight. Also, and even though this is guilty of all of the criticisms of the, we'll call it exploitation. I'm going to stick to that. The Helena and Christy fight in the rain.
Yeah, no, I think that's the one they were going for sure.
Yeah, they went for it, and I think it was like pretty fucking successful. The IMDb trivia says that took 2 weeks to film.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nuts.
What?
But yeah, that was really, it was a good fight for starters. And like, it's guilty of all the things. It's got the camera panning across the butts. It's got the bikinis. It's got all of the stuff where like, this may not be your thing, but it's like just like a atmospheric fight in the rain on a beach, right? There's slow motion, but it's not being overused. And like, there's this like sub thing worked into it where during the fight, Christy is trying to memorize the tattoo on the back of on the back of Helena's neck so that they can like crack the code to get into the vault. Yeah. So like we're cutting between the fight and then her like trying to redraw this thing from memory. It was just a very cool scene and like just like a standout like moment of it that also doesn't slow the movie down or feel like it doesn't belong considering how like fun and campy everything else around it is. It doesn't get like so dramatic and so serious that it feels out of place. I just really like that scene. Yeah. Beyond that, everything in this movie is fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, it's a dumb movie. Again, we did actually that's what the bad guy's trying to do. He's trying to upload fighters into his sunglasses.
Into his
tactical sunglasses.
Into his sunglasses. Like, okay, dude, if you're gonna store this data on sunglasses that then like shoot a beam into your brain, but you have to be wearing.
No, they don't. It shoots a beam into the sunglasses.
Oh no, I know, but then like he reads like the sunglasses are somehow feeding the information into his head.
I thought it was on the screen, like the lenses of the glasses.
Oh, and it's like telling him what to do.
Yeah.
If like your whole strategy in one way or the other is dependent on having these sunglasses on your face during a fight where people are going to be attacking your head, like maybe at least like put a sports strap on those bad boys.
Strap on those bad boys.
Yeah, like so they don't fucking fly off and then you're like totally fucked, right? Just a bad idea. Just a bad idea. I don't know, man. And then like also like the Wu-Tang said, you got to protect your neck or else a ninja will put a needle into it and paralyze you
via acupuncture.
That acupuncture stuff was pretty cool. Yeah. That was kind of fun. And I thought that was a really interesting way to like kill him at the end, to kill Donovan, where they paralyze him and he's just kind of like stuck there, but like fully aware of what's going on. So when the island blows up and he gets engulfed in flames, he's like there for it and just can't do anything about it. And that is fucking wild. Like,
also, that sequence was pretty nuts where they're like throwing ladders down and people are like jumping around in a big chasm and like the chains and all this shit. Like,
yes, you hire Corey Ewan,
you're going to get some
he does
shit.
One thing extremely well, and it's that kind of stuff. And like, this was all like very traditional wire work too. You know, you could kind of see, like, you can tell when it's like wire work. Right, like none of this was like digitally assisted or cleaned up. Looks great.
No,
looks fucking phenomenal.
They did it pretty legit.
You want to see it done this way. At least I do. I don't know.
It makes it very fun to watch too, just knowing that people are just out there fucking around.
The choreography is really great. Like the only like weird CGI moment I can pick out is when Helena and Christy were throwing the chains at him. Those chains were like very clearly CGI, you know. Yeah. But otherwise, that whole it looks sick as hell. Good movie. Fun fucking movie, right? I don't know why this movie has like a 4.5 on IMDb.
Well, because people rightfully I think it's stupid, but they don't know how to have fun with anything.
4.8. It's got a 4.8.
Yeah, this is just people who like being curmudgeons. And
Yeah,
also,
or-
everybody's like got great rapport with each other. Like like
Yes.
on that movie making level, it's like I don't know, it's pretty good.
The cast, like everyone's getting along. Like, yeah, the chemistry's there.
Honestly, I think the best performance in this movie also might be from fucking Christy.
She was, Holly Valance. She was really good in this.
Dude, I laughed so hard when they go into that medical room at the beginning and Bass accidentally knocks that tray over and then apologizes and tries to pick it back up.
That is so
He's just such a nice man.
that didn't even feel like acting. That felt like Kevin Nash might have just done that. You know? It was so natural. Oh,
Dude,
sorry.
It's really funny. Like,
Yeah.
like there's shit like that all over this movie.
There's a one good Zach line I really liked, which when the volleyball game was starting, right? And Christy and Helena versus Tina and Kasumi, and Zach's been giving Tina shit this whole time. Which, like, the one thing to the movie's credit, as gross as that was, like, once she kicks his ass in the fight, he does stop, and all of that behavior stops for the rest of the movie, which was good, right?
Right.
But also, like, maybe don't treat women like that and expect them to earn your respect.
Yeah.
Maybe just respect them.
Yeah. So she doesn't have to kick your ass into respecting her.
Right. But when he sits down, this is before he's suddenly announcing the volleyball game.
I love that dude, I have a note where it's just like Zach just taking over the PA system is so funny. Like, and also the fact that Tina wants to fight him and then he just goes, "What, you're gonna ruin this party for everybody?" And she goes, "You know what, you're right. I'm gonna play volleyball instead."
Let's do volleyball. It's volleyball time. But when the volleyball game is getting started and he sits down and he's like, "I got 50 that says Tina gets her ass kicked. Now, you know what? Let's just make it a whole $1."
That's such a funny bit. Yeah.
That's a really good bit. Funny movie. Surprisingly funny movie.
It's just a good fucking time.
Just a good
if you
fucking
haven't
time.
seen it, get some people together who enjoy fun.
Yeah. Get your fun friends
Fucking slap
together.
the movie on.
Yeah, man. Don't get your friend who gets like too precious about they adapted the canon wrong or whatever. Like, don't invite.
Yeah, don't get the guy who wrote that Steam review.
Don't invite him. But just watch this movie. This movie's good. This movie's a good time. Obviously, there's stuff in it that hasn't aged super well. None of it is like so outrageously
It could be so much worse.
egregious that I don't consider it a deal breaker. I like the kind of cheesecakiness of it. I'm not gonna mince words about that. Like that, I'll be honest, that's a little bit part of the appeal for me. Certainly in 2006 when I was watching it for the first time. And again, that's okay.
It's fun,
Right.
man.
Yeah, this movie's just fucking fun to watch.
It feels totally like the Barbie movie, which I know isn't out yet, and I've only seen one trailer for that, but it feels like they're doing the same thing.
Like let's just have a good time.
Yeah.
Strong movie, fun movie. I watched it last night and I watched it again this morning before we podcasted. I probably watched it a month ago just for fun, which is I think when I decided like, yeah, we got to talk about this on the show for sure. And then I watched it sometime like I've watched this movie probably 20 times since 2006.
Right.
I used to call it a guilty pleasure movie, but you know what? I don't feel guilty about liking it. Like I'm not sure I believe in guilty pleasures, right? Like if you like something, you should just like it, right? Why qualify it? Because it's not Dunkirk. You got to like qualify it. Fucking enjoy it.
Dunkirk catching strays.
10 out of 10.
It's very fun.
On a scale of 6 to 8 air horns, this gets 8 air horns.
I think that's fair.
The thing we're talking about next time definitely won't.
Well, we don't know.
I'm pretty sure, dude.
We have no way of knowing.
Look, if the next episode that comes out is not about death to the supermodels, it's because we just fucking couldn't. All right.
Yeah, we might have lied a lot earlier.
We need it. No, like I'm giving us now, thinking about it, I'm giving us an escape hatch. Okay.
Absolutely.
But I think we did it. Anything else you want to say about Dead or Alive?
No, I think we've covered it.
I think
it's
we've covered
very
it
good.
too. Yeah. Banger. True banger. What do you got going on, Corey?
They made another one. You can find it's where Mitch and Liam and I talk about sequels and reboots and remakes and stuff. And Neil should probably get back on there sometime soon.
Yeah.
That's they made another on Instagram now.
Instagram.
That is the one change. Twitter is dead to us,
I need to update that in the show notes.
and so it's just an Instagram now. Strat 2 recorded its first episode back in 4 months today, so I can plug it again with Callum.
Nice. Hell yeah.
F1 podcast. Monaco was today, so we talked about that. That's Strat 2 on, technically, we still have the Twitter up. We do have the Instagram handle, but it's not like active yet.
So
You just go to
Twitter,
mortalkombatconquest.ca. It'll be there.
Twitter not dead to Strat 2 yet.
Well,
But dying.
It's more just that we haven't tweeted since February 22nd.
Gotcha. I can't believe we're going to watch this.
We're gonna try. Maybe we won't.
We're going to try. We're allowed to bail.
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at Final Neil Retro. Twitter at Final Neil, but like I don't use it. Follow this show on Twitter, and should we bail on the Twitter account for this show too? Nah, I think it's fine.
People were still interacting with that, I think.
Twitter and Instagram at MK Podcast, www.mkpodquest.com. Find links to our fucking Redbubble store where we got some new merch up there, baby. Guys, you got to see these designs. They're sick as hell.
Yeah. If you're a fan of online ceramics, or better yet, if you hate it, you should see our designs.
mkpodquest.redbubble.com also gets you there. Check out my alien show, Crew Expendable, crewexpendable.net, all about alien stuff. I think we're good, right? Let's get out of here. Until next time.
What a shame you didn't download my moves. Is there a way to go on Steam and like check how many hours the most active player has ever put into a video game?
Just
I would love to know the guy who has played the most Dead or Alive beach volleyball. What are they doing in that game by now?
You know what? Actually, I looked this up yesterday.
Why?
Curiosity.
Uh-huh.
They still make those beach volleyball games. They don't release them here in America, but you can buy import copies on the Switch from like Amazon or whatever. And here's a review from one man that is, I came for the eye candy and then realized it's a pretty chill game. Right?
You can choose for sure.
This is for the listing here is Classic Officials Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Scarlet Import, if you want to check this out for yourselves at home. But here's one we just got to read this, man. This is I'm going to put you on blast. 5 out of 5 stars from The Thailander. Yeah, I bought this, ... I believe in freedom of speech and expression. Most people don't anymore. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given up their rights so easily to their government overlords and big pharma masters because they are so afraid of dying that they have become too afraid to live. This is a review on Amazon for a Dead or Alive volleyball game.
And choosing to live means playing more Dead or Alive beach volleyball than previously thought possible.
This is getting read in full, and I don't even care. They can't think for themselves and go along with whatever they are told to do. You aren't allowed to disagree or hold different beliefs than those enforced by those who hold power and control all media. Even here, I have to censor myself, as wrong think will be punished. Why is this important to a game review? Well, DOA Extreme 3 has already been cleansed, modified, censored, and banned. He writes this on a website where he can purchase the game. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Is any of that true?
DOA XBV, which is what the fans call it, was released in 2003 on Xbox, with DOA X2 released in 2006 on the 360. DOA
and people
Paradise,
played a fuck ton of it at the time, just to be clear.
DOA Paradise came out to the PSP in 2010. Nobody banned them, and the world didn't come to an end because they existed. Since 2016, the SJWs and cancel culture took out a lot of games, movies, celebrities, world leaders, and so on.
That list ramps up in a really interesting way.
It didn't matter that the unrest was being sponsored, endorsed, and politically controlled by the drive-by media and certain political organizations who had wanted to regain their power and create their new world order. Most Japanese games are now censored or banned from America. DOA X3 is just one of them. This is halfway through.
The new world order is you can't play Dead or Alive volleyball?
This is halfway through the review, my man. The game is really just beautiful girl dating similar with sexy times, mini games, and a lot of swimsuits. SJWs want it gone because it's an unrealistic depiction of women, and none look or act like the main characters in their, quote, award-winning game, The Last of Us 2.
Wow. What a perfect development.
It will give young girls a negative body image and destroy their lives. Obviously, the main target audience, in parentheses.
Nobody said that, I don't think.
It's a trashy game. There's no nudity or sexual content, but it's aimed at exciting men.
He said it was sexy earlier, and he's saying there's no sexual content.
I don't know, man.
Isn't that
So,
what that is?
I don't know. So who cares? Good riddance.
This is sexy to me, but I don't like it.
We're almost done. All right. So who cares? Good riddance. Not my kind of game anyway. Not like they'll ban Call of Duty or any other game we love. They got their foot in the door. They can get the games that pass. I don't fucking know, dude. The mainstream media, I think. They can get games that pass the ESRB rating system banned now. They work for Sony and they work for Microsoft. How long after the upcoming anti-gun law, which never happened, do you think it will be okay to depict guns in video games? Don't think the next COD will be with Super Soakers? Yeah, it will never happen, and Joel would never allow his head to be bashed with a golf club by a man-hating, parentheses, wall in Holland, in TLOU2. That might have been a spoiler for The Last of Us Part 2. Sorry about that, everybody.
I also don't know what that even means.
I think the TLOU2, The Last of Us 2, right?
Did you say wall in what does that mean?
I don't know. It doesn't make any. In parentheses, wall in Holland. Yes.
In like in the Netherlands?
I don't know. Is wall
like in Holland? No, like what do you say? Like spell it to me. I can't.
Yes,
picture
no,
this.
that's what I'm saying. Wall, WALL in HOLLAND. And I am nervous now that by saying that this is some kind of like a dog whistle or something. Because
if it's a dog whistle, we were too stupid to know. We didn't know.
Man hating WIH. Would that be? I don't know, man.
We've officially gone too far.
Sorry, I apologize to everyone except the Thailander. Even if you never play DOA X3, I recommend that you buy it. In the future, it may be very valuable, and perhaps you can use it to trade for impossible brand meat products made out of bugs and compost down at the black market when your family is starving.
Okay, so that sentence,
240 people found this helpful.
So here's the thing: that last sentence is genuinely hilarious. Like, look, we're making fun of this guy rightfully, but that last sentence is just so funny.
Thailander, you stuck the landing, buddy.
Got it in one.
God damn. So that's who's playing the Dead or Alive games, the Dead or Alive Extreme 3 volleyball games these days.
I do like when the same people who complain that everything is a culture war now will write that review.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like, hey man, nobody's coming for your sexy volleyball game. They probably stopped selling well over here.
Yeah.
And then they just stopped selling it over here.
Yeah. But literally,
you know what I mean?
Literally,
like,
my man, you just went on Amazon and purchased this game because that's a verified purchase. He bought the game and we're able to play it and review it. So like, what are you doing, buddy? Like, you got your game. It's cool. Okay. Enjoy it. There's like a 40% chance I'm going to cut that out, but I just had to share it with you mostly.
It's really funny.